Reject loneliness and embrace solitude. I was watching a video earlier of a person who was like talking about how they were lonely and stuff, and how it wasn't really like a bad thing for them. And I understood what they were talking about it, but it's almost like the comments didn't. Because someone said, I love being alone. And I'm like, dog, do you love being alone or do you like your solitude? Because I feel like a lot of people get that confused. You can speak of it in terms of like a social battery thing, but I feel like a lot of people, no matter if you are an introvert or an extrovert, have to become comfortable in your own solace. Because if you keep on chasing company with others, you will be led down a path where you can't even think for yourself. And a lot of hedonism comes from packs, like social packs. And you can say that you can be with a pack or like a group of people that won't lead to some sort of hedonistic lifestyle. But the more you expose yourself to people, the more likely you are to meet people who will have some sort of funky ideas. Let me not say expose, let me say entertain. I've always said that there's a thing that I say where, I have to be exclusive with myself because there's sort of vibes that people can bring into your life that can affect you a whole lot if you're not careful. And certain ideologies that if you are not careful, you will also adapt for yourself. And I feel like that also stems from, or the more susceptible you are to that also comes from how comfortable you are with being yourself. I think also being with yourself also can help you build a sense of identity because if you are with a group of people, you're more likely to adopt the identity of the group itself. You see this a lot with performant. Damn. You see this. Sorry. You see this a lot with performative subcultures. I'm talking about the alt people. I'm talking about those who love hedonistic culture. You can even see this a lot in the Christian community. God does encourage community, but he also encourages self identity especially with him. And you'll not find your identity in a group. You'll only find your identity within yourself. Oh, dang. Yeah, it is fly season and they are irritating me a lot. Um, but yeah, that's besides the point. You will not find your identity within a group. You'll only find your identity if you actually sit with yourself long enough to actually figure out what you are and who you are. What and who you are. And a lot of times, if you sit with yourself in solitude and start to think about who you are, you will start labeling yourself as to what you can achieve or what you have achieved, or what you can achieve or what you want to achieve. And that can beg the question of, I feel like I'm going off track. Let me go back on track. But yeah. Um Solitude is something that I have been practicing maybe like intently for maybe the last 3 to 4 months. Yeah. 3 to 4 months. And I would say that I did move away from the people who just did not serve me in my life. It's almost like I could feel myself becoming an orbiter. And that's also one thing I don't think I can become is an orbiter because it's almost like I would be getting the identity that they are having, and especially if it's an identity that's not mine or doesn't align with mine, I just can't. So I made the decision to kind of move away from a lot of people this year. And I feel like it's been working for my benefit because now I actually know what I want. That coupled with in the next few months, I'll be moving away. I can't wait to make a video about that, but yeah, I'll be moving away. And I think that's where my comfortability and solace really plays in. I'm actually very excited for that, but I don't want to talk about it too much now. But yeah, um, it's almost like if you stop interacting with people or interacting with those who don't serve you. It kind of sounds weird by saying those who don't serve you, but the places that don't serve you, it's like they kind of want to come back. I'd say for the last few months, maybe in the beginning, I started getting calls from them. I don't know if it was because of that or it's because I was popping off on social media at that time. So it was kind of like maybe it was kind of like I was trying to get close to you sort of thing. I don't know, but I think it's the fact that I created some distance, and yeah, it kind of also did hurt me a little bit because it's like, oh, only now that I'm moving away, when I was never really included in the first place, it's when I'm being sought after. And they're good people. And if they saw this and heard this, they'll probably like be a bit sad because of that. But then again, I don't know why you'd be sad about something that you've done. Um, I'm not saying it's their fault. It's more of a thing of where we just didn't align and they were kind of moving away and I just also didn't want to hold on to dead weight. So I also started moving away. And it's almost like they felt sort of like an airlift and a weight lift and they're trying to see what dropped. Was it my boot or was it this person? I think they also just kind of accepted that I've kind of grown away from them. I do have like two friends, maybe four at the moment who, although we don't school at the same places, we don't see each other often, I'd say that those are my real true friends. I call them my bliss because they truly are my bliss. Um, I really can enjoy my time when I'm with them, but yeah, other than that, um, I find that more and more I've been finding comfort in solitude. And yeah, so you shouldn't be finding comfort in loneliness because loneliness is another thing. And I believe that loneliness is a feeling that you can feel, but I also feel like it's not from us. It's not an emotion that's from us. I feel like it's a perversion of solitude. That's what loneliness is. And we should try our best not to encourage and indulge in those feelings and more so embrace it. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to say.